Okay, so let's start. This is the analytics advantage using data to improve customer satisfaction. We have a good panel here today, but before I hand over to Jordan, Robin, and Rory, our hosts, let me do a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, if you're hearing me well, then there's nothing wrong with your audio, then it's fine. But if your internet is bad, if you can't hear me well, you can always dial in via phone, and that's how you do it. Second, we have a lot of content today here, and we encourage you to ask your questions, asking questions, to participate in the chat. And if you wanna ask a question, there's a question poll here. You can see questions, and if you have something to say about what Jordan, Robin, and Rory are saying, you can also comment in the chat. And third, this session is being recorded, so as I said before, if you don't have time to be here the full hour, if you have to go out early, don't worry, you will receive the recording. And also, if someone from your company should be here, but they could not for any reason, you can also send them the recording. Just make sure that you register. Okay, so today we're talking about 3 topics. First is harnessing contact center analytics. Second one is how to use real-time analytics to enhance the customer experience. And third, proactive customer service and how to identify and address using analytics. Then we'll have the Q&A. Okay, handing over to you, Jordan.
Thank you, Mariana, and welcome, folks. Thank you so much for kind of coming to our presentation today. I am joined by the lovely Robin McGinn and Rory Kitt. We are your Scorebuddy CS team. And as Mariana said, we are going to go through basically how data helps us with our everyday today. So yeah, will we go on to the next slide? So perfect. So we are looking at, first of all, about harnessing contact center analytics, unlocking insights for enhanced customer satisfaction, and how do you use the data collected from your call centers.
Okay, I'm launching the poll now. So every attendant can vote. And I'm gonna just give some minutes so we have a good participation. So how do you use the data collected from your contact center? First of all, do you collect data from your contact center? That's a good one. We have some people that voted, so I'm just gonna close the poll now. And these are the results. So 57% use it to help internal development, and 36% is not sure on how to use the data, and 7% don't even collect data at all. Okay, so going on, Jordan.
Perfect, and thanks, guys. Interesting results straight off the bat. I was honestly thinking most of you would have went for basically using that data to strengthen your analytics overall. So again, I'm going to go through about harnessing contact center analytics and about the importance of data-driven decision-making in meeting customer expectations. So I'm going to go through a couple of key reasons on why. So data-driven decision-making plays a crucial role in meeting customer expectations. By leveraging data, organizations can gain valuable insights into customer behavior, preferences, and needs. This knowledge empowers businesses to make informed decisions that align with customer expectations and deliver exceptional experiences. So here's a couple of reasons why data-driven decision-making is important in meeting customers' expectations. First, we have customer understanding. So data provides a comprehensive understanding of customer preferences, buying patterns, and behavior. By analyzing customer data, businesses can identify trends, preferences, and pain points, enabling them to tailor their product, services, and marketing strategies to better meet customers' expectations. Next, we have personalization. So customers today expect personalized experiences. Data-driven making decisions enables businesses to segment their customer base and create targeted marketing campaigns, personalized recommendations, and customized offerings. By leveraging data, organizations can deliver relevant and personalized experiences that resonate with individual customers, increasing satisfaction and loyalty. Next, we have proactive issue resolution. So this is a huge one here at Scorebuddy. Data allows businesses to identify and address customer issues proactively by monitoring customer feedback, social media mentions, and other customer sentiment. Companies can quickly detect emergent problems and take corrective actions. Resolving customers' issues promptly demonstrates a commitment to customer satisfaction, ensures trust, and shows that all expectations are met. So with that, 77% of customers view a business more positively if they're proactive with customer service, as you can imagine. Next we have up is product and service development. So huge and a huge part of Scorebuddy is always having updates. So insights provide valuable input for developing new products and services that align with customer expectations. By analyzing customer feedback, market trends, and competitor analysis, businesses can identify gaps in the market, understand evolving customer needs, and make data-backed decisions on product features, improvements, and innovations. Up then we have enhanced customer experience. So data-driven decision-making helps optimize the customer journey and overall experience. By analyzing customer touchpoints, businesses can identify pain points, streamline processes, and enhance interactions. Data can be used to optimize website navigation, personalize customer support, and create seamless omni-channel experiences, ultimately exceeding customers' expectations. And then we have predictive analytics. So again, data allows businesses to leverage predictive analytics to anticipate customer expectations and behavior. By analyzing historical data, businesses can identify patterns and make predictions about future customer needs and preferences. This enables proactive decision-making, such as inventory management, demand forecasting, and anticipating customers' trends. Last on our list for the importance of decision-making is continuous improvement. So quite obvious, data-driven decision-making promotes a culture of continuous improvement by collecting and analyzing customer feedback and performance metrics. Businesses can measure their success, identify areas for improvement, and iterate their strategies accordingly. And this initiative then allows for organizations to adapt to changing customer expectations and stay ahead of the competition. So in summary, data-driven decision-making is essential in meeting customer expectations as it enables organizations to gain insights, personalize experiences, proactively address issues, develop relevant products and service, enhance the customer journey, leverage predictive analytics, and continuously improve. By harnessing the power of data, businesses can understand their customers and make informed decisions that result in higher customer satisfaction, loyalty, and long-term success. So, thank you. So next we have leveraging contact center analytics to gain valuable insights. So again, I'm going to go through some key points. Leveraging contact center analytics can provide organizations with valuable insights that can significantly impact their operations, customer experience, and overall business performance. Here are some key areas highlighting the importance of using these analytics. So again, one I kind of touched on earlier as well, again, enhanced customer experience, honestly the most important area for any business. And analytics allow businesses to gain a deep understanding of customer interactions, enabling them to identify trends, patterns, and customer sentiments by analyzing data from various channels such as phone calls, emails, chats, and social media. You can then identify areas of improvement in their customer service processes, address those pain points, and deliver a more personalized and efficient customer experience. For example, a technology company used speech and text analytics to proactively reduce average handling time by approximately 40%. The company analyzed a specific incident type by sifting through unstructured call description logs to find variabilities in a resolution process. Something pretty much what our CX Moments tool does for customers that can, again, bring out those pain points and help us build even our QA processes around said pain points. So again, onto our next one will be performance monitoring and optimization. So analytics provides real-time and historical data, key performance indicators such as average handling time, first call resolution rate, response times, and customer satisfaction scores. By monitoring these metrics, organizations can identify bottlenecks, areas of underperformance, and opportunities for improvement. Analytics-driven insights can optimize agent performance, identify training needs, and enhance overall contact center efficiency. So again, with those KPIs, some of the kind of global average call center benchmarks. So the average speed to answer a call is 28 seconds, and the average call duration is 4 minutes, which is, again, quite expected. The average speed to answer, 28 seconds. I'm sure we've all been on a call that's been a lot longer than that in your waiting times. But again, that is what the benchmark is and what most companies usually drive to succeed on. Then we have operational efficiency and cost reduction. So analytics can uncover operational inefficiencies and help organizations streamline their processes by analyzing data on call volumes, peak hours, call durations, and agent utilization. Businesses can optimize workforce management, ensure appropriate staffing levels, and reduce costs associated with overstaffing or understaffing. Contact centers analytics can also help identify self-service opportunities, enabling organizations to divert repetitive and low complexity queries to their self-service channels, and then reduce the need for agent involvement. So proactive identification and resolution. Analytics can detect emerging trends and issues by monitoring customer interactions and sentiment analysis. By analyzing customer feedback and complaints, organizations can identify recurring problems, product issues, or service gaps, allowing them to take proactive measures to address them promptly. This can help prevent escalations, improve customer satisfaction, and enhance brand reputation. We have one more then. So the last one would be around compliance and risk management. Analytics can play a crucial role in compliance and risk management by analyzing customer interactions. Organizations can ensure regulatory compliance, monitor adherence to qualify basically quality standards, and identify potential compliance risks. Analytics can also help identify fraudulent activity, detect unusual call patterns, and mitigate security risks. But it is, again, a huge part of Scorebuddy. A lot of companies come straight to us when they have been recommended by their regulatory board to go get a scorecard that can deal with compliance. And Scorebuddy pretty much gives you all the reports to make that as easy as possible to go back to those regulatory companies to basically approve that. But in summary, leveraging contact center analytics empowers organizations to gain valuable insights into customer interactions, improve customer experience, optimize operational efficiency, make data-driven decisions, and mitigate risks. By harnessing the power of analytics, businesses can enhance their competitive advantage and drive success in today's customer-centric marketplace. So on our last topic, so we have developing personalized customer experiences through data analysis. So again, enhance customer satisfaction, personalized experience, demonstrate a company understands and values its customer. By analyzing customer data, businesses can gain insights into preferences, behaviors, and purchase history. This information enables them to provide relevant recommendations, targeted offers, and customized interactions, resulting in improved customer satisfaction. So 70% of customers expect a personalized experience from their brands, and they get frustrated if they don't receive it. Only 35% of companies deliver omni-channel personalization experiences to customers. Again, huge with live chat now these days. You have a lot of bots, you have a lot of that way. You would think segmenting how the customer is speaking to the bot, it would be personalized straight away. But again, that is a pretty low number and something a lot of the big guys at the moment with AI are trying to achieve and improve. So again, some of those ways to, I guess, develop our customer experiences through analytics. So one would be improved customer loyalty and retention. So again, personalization fosters a sense of loyalty among customers. When businesses consistently deliver personalized experience that meet their customers' unique needs, it builds trust and encourages long-term relationships. By leveraging data analysis, companies can identify customer preferences and proactively engage with personalized communication, promotions, and loyalty programs, thereby increasing customer retention. Next, we'd have higher conversion rates. So personalized experiences have proven to drive higher conversion rates when customers feel that a company understands their specific needs or offers a relevant product or service. They're more likely to make that purchase. By utilizing data analysis to segment customers and deliver personalized recommendations and targeted marketing campaigns, businesses can significantly increase their conversion rates and drive revenue growth. And then lastly, we have competitive analysis. So in today's crowded marketplace, personalization can provide a significant competitive advantage. By leveraging data analysis to gain insights into customer preferences, businesses can differentiate themselves by delivering unique, tailored experiences. This sets them apart from the competitors and helps to attract new customers while retaining existing ones. So in summary, developing personalized customer experiences through data analysis is essential for businesses looking to thrive in today's customer-centric landscape. By harnessing the power of data, companies can understand their customers better, anticipate their needs, and deliver tailored experiences that drive customer satisfaction, loyalty, and business success.
So my discussion topic for today is to basically look at proactive customer service, identifying and addressing gaps using your analytics. So as I'm going through some of this, you will realize that Jordan has actually touched on some of the benefits of what you'll hear me discuss, but what I'm going to do today is explain to you how you can use analytics to basically enhance the benefits that Jordan had already outlined. So if you want to move on to the next slide there, Mariana. Perfect.
Okay, we have a poll. I'm just gonna launch the poll now. And we want to hear from you. Which benefits have you achieved by harnessing contact center analytics? So yeah, we can vote. Just gonna give some time so people can vote, and this is you can choose how many you want. So yeah, you don't have to vote just in one. Okay, just gonna give 5 more seconds so everyone can vote, but we have interesting responses here. So yeah, I'm gonna close the poll now. Thanks everyone that participated. And these are the results. Do you want to comment on the results, Robin?
Sorry?
Do you want to comment on the results? So 80% enhanced agent performance, 53% said they better understand their customer needs, and then in third place we have a tie, improved customer satisfaction and faster resolution times. So yeah, okay. That's very interesting. Thanks
so
everyone.
What I'm understanding from this poll is that basically my discussion points won't be too difficult for everybody to understand, as you are clearly using it and you understand how to get it. So that is fantastic news for myself. But for those that are joining us and don't fully understand it, or you want maybe a different perspective on how to do that, that is going to be up to myself for today. So getting straight into the first topic that we have, which is identifying common customer pain points through data analysis. So Unfortunately, the customer is always right. Not everybody's going to be happy all the time. But 78% of customers don't feel that they are understood by the companies that they work with, by the brands that they give feedback for. And that's the big point, that's the big pain point for them, is that they're not actually listened to. So to identify customer pain points with data and analytics involves using techniques to uncover patterns and trends and insights within your customers' data. So to simply give you a rough idea of how to identify these pain points using data analytics specifically, we'll start with regular insight to all touch points. So it is key for everybody in the business, not just the decision makers and the head of the company or the agents that are dealing directly with the customers, to know what is happening on the customer side, what information they're giving back, what issues they're having. It is up to everybody to work as a team to understand these. So having a regular insight allows you to know the relevant data and the best ways to achieve it. And if it's not obvious from a quick insight, you can always carry out surveys, feedback forms, reviews, and so on and so forth, to be able to get more in-depth information from your clients that they may not feel comfortable giving over the phone. With the real-time data analysis, you can then, base on the information that you've either firsthand seen and heard, or that you've received from your feedback forms and your reviews, that you can filter through this and actually give it structure by removing duplicates, grouping similar feedback together, which from here you'll already see immediate pain points, common pain points, and you might even be surprised with one or two that you didn't actually think would be a pain point or should be a pain point. So to be able to look into more detail on these, there are two different types of data you can use. So you have quantitative data. So by applying statistical analysis techniques to quantitative data to uncover insights, is done through a few different options. So you have descriptive statistics, which allows you to get an average, it basically just an overall insight as to what's actually happening. Or you can break it down into segments. So you can segment your customers' data based on commonalities. So customer type, purchase history, call queries, anything like that. And that way, from there, you can go through the data with more precision of group pain points rather than just focusing on individual ones, because the reality of that is, it's a lot of information for you to have to filter through to be able to build out a plan and actually bring a solution to the table. So being able to group people together makes things a whole lot easier, and then you're addressing more than just one problem. Or you can go through the cohort analysis. So if you look into customers that will say joined at a similar time throughout the year. So for example, if coming into the summer, it's the best time for your sales team to bring in new prospects, to go through trials, to get contracts signed. And then you're realizing, okay, so it's the new joiners that are actually having the problem. Or when you're a bit more quieter on the sales side and everybody's kind of settled into the system, and you're going, okay, so it's a quiet-ish winter, but all of a sudden people have more time now to look through the system. So they're actually going, oh, this doesn't work, or this is a bit slow, and the customer service isn't great, because the reality is everybody wants Christmas to come around and you're a bit preoccupied with other things. So that's another option. And then lastly, within the quantitative data, you do have funnel analysis. So this is quite an interesting one if, we'll say, you're a relatively new business and you want to get ahead of this before any big problems come your way. So with the funnel analysis, looking at the data from a customer journey perspective, so whether their pain points were identified in the trial and that was said to the sales team and passed on to the CS team, or if it's based on a renewal, so they're not happy with the price because the product doesn't, it doesn't fit their needs anymore. It's another way, using quantitative data, that you can address these pain points. And then we have your qualitative data. So this is more of a text analysis technique to extract insights from your feedbacks, your reviews, your comments. So using NLP algorithms, word cloud analysis, That's kind of just depends on how you like to look at your analytics, but it's just another option. But to be able then to, identify those customer pain points, you need to combine whichever form of data analysis you've gone through. So with the quantitative data, if you've decided to look at it through cohort, so customer types, if you look at it that way, and then we'll say you use the qualitative data and you build out a word cloud based on the most common words that have come back. You need to be able to combine these to understand the exact pain points. And then from there, you build out the priority. So what is first? What is the biggest pain point? But with the priority, it's never going to solely be based on making the customer happy. You also need to look at it in the sense of the business too, because you may be able to make a customer happy, but are you stressing out your workers? Are you stressing out your teams that now have to run through these plans and bring out this solution because the customer needs it within 2 weeks, and the reality is that work's going to take a month? So within this, and you're gonna notice this throughout all of the areas that I'm going to discuss, is that identifying and being proactive to your customers also means having open conversations within your business. So you need to be able to get the head of the business to listen to the people that are dealing frontline with the customers every day. It should never be a case of blind work. The CEO says something and that goes down through the ladder, and then the agents are the ones that are left with all the tough work, because that's just where it falls. So I suppose to summarize, the most important part of identifying customer pain points with data analysis is being able to put it all together, clean, clear, precise information, and have a discussion with your team. Then if we move on to our next point, which will, I suppose, in a way work with your pain points. So it's using analytics to identify the bottlenecks within your customer service process. So this is, I suppose, the pain points now that you're noticing. It's not necessarily just the product that's the problem. Maybe it's the service that's being delivered to the customers. So unfortunately, it's a 50-50 issue all the time. But we'll start with a nice statistic of 71% of customers believe that a quick response from a service team can drastically improve their customer experience. The reality is, we can all agree with that. If you ring up, we'll say, a phone company, because your broadband's a bit slow, and you have somebody on the phone that just is not listening, they don't care, that immediately makes you go, maybe I'll look elsewhere. But if you have somebody that says, I am so sorry, bear with me, I'm going to look into this, how can we fix this, maybe offer you either a solution or a discount, you immediately get off the phone and you're going, I'll stay with them, I'm happy with that. So by having the processes outlined from your customer pain points, you'll be able to then look into bottlenecks. So you'll be able to use some of the information you've already set out and gathered with a similar analysis style. So the first thing for bottlenecks is to set up KPIs based on the customer service process. So this is kind of the first and most important step, because there's no bottleneck, there's no identifying a bottleneck if you don't actually have data to look at. So the processes that you may be looking at would be, we'll say your customer service team need to have low handle time or low hold time, a quick response time, a quick resolution time, whatever it may be. Set up KPIs on what these should be for your agents. Give them a nice incentive, which you'll hear Rory discuss, on basically how to keep them happy. And once, it works from the inside out with humans as well as businesses. If you're happy on the inside, it's definitely going to show on the outside. So think of your team as well as your customers. So with the data you'll collect from your KPIs, you can now get more specific into the analytical techniques that you're going to use. So from just customers that we've dealt with, and from my own experiences, I'd suggest starting with, as already outlined in your pain points, descriptive. Get an overall view of what's happening. find out the average hold time, find out the average response time, the average solution time, and go from there. Then with that, you have your diagnostic. So finding the root cause of the bottleneck within the patterns and the trends. So again, you can continue with your quantitative and qualitative data, looking at cohorts, looking at individuals, whatever is the most efficient way for your business. And then with all of this, we have the benefits of resolving the current bottleneck, but also then being able to predict what's coming. So with your KPIs and understanding what's happening, you can then predict the future bottlenecks, but you're also prescribing how to determine the optimal solution for the current bottleneck. So once you've highlighted the current and potential bottlenecks, you'll now need to prioritize. Prioritize is going to be the biggest thing when using analytics, because if you don't have a priority, you don't have a structure, it's a free-for-all. Whatever's easiest, quickest is definitely going to get done first, regardless of the impact that it's actually going to have for your business and your clients. So prioritize your data based on the impact of both the business and the customer with a step-by-step plan. And with the step-by-step plan, you need to ensure that it's implemented across all of the business. So from the CEO to the agents that are dealing with customers, everybody needs to be on the same wavelength. They need to understand what's happening. It needs to be a plan where if somebody's unsure of something, they can ask a question. If somebody thinks something's definitely not going to work, because the reality is the agents will know how to calm down a customer more than somebody who hasn't dealt with customers in a very long time. So continuous monitoring of how this is working, using the KPIs that you originally set out and actually looking into them, and making sure that the solution you've set in place for this bottleneck is going as planned. And if not, you can adjust it. You're not on your own. Nobody should be on their own in this situation. So by monitoring the KPIs, you're ensuring the plan is being followed, which is allowing future plans to be processed in a way and adjusted in a way that the issues you're after facing this time shouldn't be major issues. They can just be minor issues. You've had experience, but it's slightly different because it's a slightly different type of customer. And then with this, I'm going to jump straight on to the next point, which is strategies for resolving issues. So solving issues and preventing customer dissatisfaction. So Jordan has definitely touched on the above three, or the above two and the current third points. And the reason this is such a big thing is if you've dealt with the pain points, you've predicted the bottlenecks, essentially you should be preventing customer dissatisfaction. So what are you missing? So again, I like my statistics, and it's always a nice thing to keep somebody interested in the beginning. 96% of dissatisfied customers never file a complaint, while 91% just leave altogether. Or 13% of dissatisfied customers will talk to at least 15 people about their bad experience. You know yourself. If there's bad news, the whole town hears about it. If there's good news, it's kept within the house. Somebody fails an exam, Chinese whispers happens, and it's all around the village. Somebody exceeds and gets a first, the celebrations remain inside. So understanding the why of customer dissatisfaction, there's two core reasons. It's no longer worth the time or the energy to the customer. So the product has now become the problem rather than the product solving the problem. Or the product isn't what they were sold. This can be a touchy one, and it's a harsh reality that some people don't want to face. But unfortunately, sometimes we can say we can do something and we can't, and that can definitely cause extreme dissatisfaction across the customers. So how do we do this? How do we create a strategy and resolve issues preventing this happening or minimizing the effects? Act fast. Often, sometimes communication can start oftentimes communication can start to break down, which creates an unhappy customer. You know that yourself. If you don't communicate with somebody and then all of a sudden they're annoyed at you, even though what you said wasn't really that bad, it's because you didn't communicate it properly. So being able to deal with a problem before it has become a problem is an ideal world. It's an ideal situation. It isn't always easy to do this, but by at least being proactive towards this approach, you're going to help build a stronger relationship by paying that attention and showing you're dependable. Then we have, okay, so we've acted fast. Now we need to figure out why. So identify the what before it does become a why. Having an honest conversation with your clients from the beginning can help in understanding their expectations with your product to gain insight, but it can also build trust, which allows you to ask what they think about your product and allows them to come to you and tell you exactly what's happening. So sometimes their answer can seem as if the solution is simple. So they come to you and say, prices are too high, product, isn't exactly meeting the price that you're asking. But then you go ahead, you fix the price. So you say, okay, right, we won't increase the price for this year as long as you agree to another year. Yeah, happy days. 2 months later, they come to you with 5 things that are wrong with the system or saying they're still unhappy. You've just solved what you thought was the problem. So don't take the first answer, dig a little bit deeper. And this moves on to my next point, which is listen to your customers. If your relationship with your clients is as strong as you think, then asking them what they don't like shouldn't be a problem. What if you ask them for their feedback before and nothing has ever been done about it? Why would they want to answer you this time? The key to any good, strong relationship is listening. So why would this differ when it comes to your business? Clients like to be heard and understood. I know we've all experienced it. Somebody comes to you and says, I have a problem. And your immediate thing is, what is the problem? Not how can I help? And that right there is the very key sentence that could change the whole entire relationship. Sometimes they come to you with an issue, but rather than wanting you to solve it, they're just looking for your help and guidance and support and knowing that you're there. So they may come to you and say, I know you can't fix this, but this is a problem. And all you have to say is, I'm so sorry. How can I help you right now? And that right there is after showing them that you are dependable, you listen, and you care. So from this, once you have identified it, you can adjust accordingly. And then you can carry out continuous coaching within your team to ensure that, let's say, the problem that they've come to you now with is the customer service isn't great. I sent an email and I'm waiting 5 days to get something back. All right, okay. So what do you need to do? It's not the customer's fault. It's internal. So although you're looking at solving customer issues, you also need to be thinking, okay, customer issues can also be us issues. So knowing what is happening throughout all customer-based interactions will allow you to quickly identify if there is an issue with your customer's experience. So by ensuring that the gold standard has been set from day one, whether this is you're a new business and you're going, right, okay, this is it, we're not changing it, this is the structure we need going forward, happy days. If you're a business that has been around a few years, it's kind of hard to change the way things used to be to how you now need them to be. Listen to your team, talk to your team. Again, apply what I have just said about your customers to your team. Give them incentives, make them feel like they're listened, make them feel like, they're listened to, make sure they are heard. It should never be a closed conversation with your agents or your employees. It should be an open conversation. You should be able to give feedback and they should be able to take criticism as much as you give. You need to give some to get some, and it works both ways. So just to, I suppose, summarize on strategies for resolving issues and preventing customer dissatisfaction is your ideal relationship outside of the business world is to be heard, to be understood, to be listened to, to make sure that you matter. Carry that into your business. Now, I'm not saying, when you're talking to somebody, hang up the phone and say, love you, bye. I'm just saying you need to make sure that your customer, they are the only reason your business is going. You need to make sure that they are at the top of the list. They are the biggest priority for you going forward. And then lastly, you won't have to listen to me talk much longer, I promise, is implementing continuous improvement initiatives based on analytical insights. So taking everything we have just said, so we have identifying pain points, we have being proactive toward bottlenecks, and having strategies to prevent customer dissatisfaction, or at least minimize the blow. So if we implement continuous improvement initiatives based on analytical insights, you are essentially bringing in one of the most powerful ways to drive positive change in an organization. But it does require organizational commitment. So when I say make sure everybody is heard and understood, I mean it. If you want this to succeed, this is what you need to do. So with improvement initiatives based on analytical insights, it's a culture of data-driven decision-making, and the effective change management practices requires not just customers and not just the main team, but it requires stakeholders, or the relevant ones anyway. You need to provide training and support, ensure that insights are gained from analytics, and that they're effectively translated into actionable improvements. So how do we do this? Define your goal, set it out. It's going to be at the top of every list for using analytics for anything. Set out what you want your analytics to tell you. So define your goals by, we'll say, improving operation efficiency, reducing costs, enhancing customer satisfaction, whatever it may be, set that. But make sure it's been a conversation. Make sure everybody feels that the goal is the same, or that they at least understand why you're saying that is the goal. Then from here, identify and use the most relevant data sources. So these can be internal data sources, so sales data, customer data, or if your goal is a little bit more wider than just customers, you can use external data sources, so industry benchmarks. So you're 7th on the list for the system you sell, but you want to at least become 5th. So you're climbing 2 in the ladder, but the goal needs to be realistic. So maybe go from 7th to 6th. That might be a bit more achievable for the team that you have. Make it relevant for what you have available to you. From here, you can generate the data and analyze. So looking for the patterns, the trends, correlations, whatever data is going to help you provide an understanding of how you can improve this process going forward. And of course, as I said, when I said it the last time, prioritize. Priority, priority, priority. Based on everything, all of the analytical data that you have gathered comes one of the most important parts, and that's knowing and understanding what is, has, and will have the highest impact on not just customers, but your business. And when I say business, I don't mean revenue, I mean from every single individual staff member within your business. So, involving decision makers. They're stakeholders. They kind of just give you money, they give you investments, hoping that revenue will grow. Why not actually include them in the conversation? They're putting their money into something. They should be included. Why not ask your agents? They deal straight on with customers. And then, of course, we've already discussed it, asking your customers. So Involving decision makers can be key in this section. As I said, it's your business, every part of it regardless, but it also will depend on the benefits and the feasibility. So from here, what do? We create an action plan. So based on the analytics and the priorities, the first step you're going to take and set out are the next steps. So step 1, have a plan. Step 2, that is your plan. So ensure clear objectives, reasonable and realistic timelines. And then lastly is sort out and discuss. Don't decide, discuss who is responsible for what, whether it's a team, an individual. Make sure that their plan, as well as the overall plan, is clear and precise. And from here, then you can set out the KPIs that will help you track this process. So implementing the changes, as I've just said, requires a structured plan, but also clear communication. Communication is the only thing that I hope you will take away from proactive approach of using analytics is communication. Work together. You know, there's no point monitoring and measuring everything closely if you have not worked together with your team, because the reality is the data you get back is not going to reflect what you want it to. If you have you're standing in front of the mirror essentially talking about what the plan is rather than actually opening the door and discussing it with the room, don't bother looking at your analytics. Don't bother looking at your KPIs. They're not going to be realistic. They're not going to be relevant for what you want. So monitor everything closely, implement any changes that have been brought to your attention or that you have noticed, measure how and who is being impacted, and then obviously, you know, what falls within your KPIs. Being able to compare the actual results against your expected results will set out the team for continuing the process and how you can adjust this process going forward. As I said, I'm done talking now. I promise you don't have to listen to me anymore. But as I just mentioned, if there's anything you can take away from proactively approaching this, it is communication. Your business cannot grow without customers or your team. If you have somebody in your business that has been there for 10 years, make sure they are appreciated, because you could do something one day and that's it. The most experienced person you have in that company just logged out. Why? Because they weren't included. They weren't heard. They didn't feel like they mattered.
Good. Thanks, Robin. And
no problem.
There's just one example.
Oh, yes. Our real example for proactive customer service. So collecting customer insights. We do have, as Jordan has mentioned, our products. We have Scorebuddy QA and Scorebuddy CX. So a client recently started using our QA alongside the CX tool to learn more about the concerned voices by their clients. So again, like everything I just discussed, they wanted to hear what was happening. They've been able to highlight the pain points to their customers to improve customer satisfaction and alter the QA process to boost quality support. And the outcome so far has been better customer experience. I've yet to hear the feedback on the agent side of this.
As you probably already guessed, my name is Rory, and what I'll be kind of talking to you guys today about is empowering agents with real-time analytics, and through that kind of enhancing customer experience as well. The main points that I want to discuss are the impact of real-time analytics on agent-customer interactions, how real-time analytics provides agents with actionable insights, and using strategies to identify customer needs and preferences in the moment, and finally strategies for training agents to leverage real-time analytics effectively. So to start off then, guys, with the impact of real-time analytics on agent customer interactions, I mean, it has a significant impact on agent customer interactions in any contact center, in any walk of life, really. By providing immediate insights and data analysis during customer interactions, real-time analytics enables contact center agents to deliver a more personalized and efficient customer service. So some kind of ways, and within each of these points, I'd like to kind of break it down to kind of nearly sub points. But the first kind of point under this heading would be maybe enhanced customer understanding. So real-time analytics, these tools can gather and analyze customer data from various sources. You know, so it could be maybe previous interactions, purchase history, maybe even demographic information as well. The information can be then displayed to the agents in real time, allowing them to have a comprehensive view of the customer. With this knowledge, then agents can tailor their responses and anticipate those customer needs. Through that, then they can provide maybe more personalized recommendations or solutions. And an interesting stat to kind of piggyback off Robin's love of stats, she's gotten me in love with stats now as well, but an interesting one that I saw was that 94% of customers say that a positive service experience will make them more likely to purchase again. And that's quite a high number. But further to even enhancing the customer understanding, you're talking about issues like maybe faster issue resolution. And real-time analytics can identify these patterns and trends in any kind of customer interactions as they occur. For example, it can detect maybe common customer issues, frequently asked questions, or maybe even emerging problems. And this information can be instantly relayed to the agent, and it enables them to make a quick address to the customer's concern, maybe provide very accurate solutions as well. And by reducing the time spent on issue resolution, real-time analytics can improve customer satisfaction. It can also increase maybe first call resolution rates. And according to Salesforce themselves, 83% of customers do say that they expect to interact with somebody immediately, regardless of how they contact the company. So that could be email, chat, phone, doesn't matter. People want things to be dealt with as quickly and as promptly as possible. Another point would be also proactive support. And I believe that real-time analytics can help identify potential issues or even opportunities before the customer reaches out to the contact center. So by monitoring customer behavior, system performance, or any other kind of relevant metrics, real-time analytics can alert agents when specific conditions or triggers are met. This allows the agents to proactively reach out to customers, maybe with personalized assistance, such as maybe notifying them of a product update or maybe resolving an impending problem. Proactive support really enhances the customer's experience and reduces the kind of need for reactive interactions, I suppose you would say. Also then as well, you have the likes of maybe performance tracking and optimization, where real-time analytics allows contact centers, supervisors and managers to monitor agent performance and operational metrics in real time. They can track key performance indicators, such as maybe average handling time, call abandonment rate, or maybe customer satisfaction scores. And then they can identify any deviations or areas for maybe improvement as well. With this kind of immediate visibility, supervisors can make very timely adjustments, and they can provide instant feedback or even maybe intervene in a very critical situation to ensure maybe optimal agent performance and customer experiences. So overall, you know, real-time analytics revolutionizes the agent customer interactions by empowering these agents with those customer insights, enabling faster issue resolution, facilitating that proactive support, and offering real-time guidance as well. These benefits normally result in improved customer satisfaction, increased efficiency, which is incredibly important, and also enhanced agent productivity, which obviously in today's days and age is incredibly important. To move on to the next point then, it's how real-time analytics provides agents with actionable insights. I believe it plays a very crucial role in providing agents with those actionable insights, and by continuously monitoring and analyzing data as it's generated, real-time analytics enables contact center managers and supervisors to make very informed decisions and empower those agents to deliver better customer service. So a couple of points on this then, and I think one of the most important ones is performance monitoring. Real-time analytics, you know, it allows all of you to kind of look at certain metrics as maybe it's call volume, average handling time, customer satisfaction scores, as I mentioned, and agents can receive immediate feedback and coaching based on these metrics, which in turn obviously helps them understand their performance and make necessary improvements in real time. Another one would be queue management. You know, real-time analytics provides that visibility into any contact center queue, including maybe the number of calls waiting, average wait times, and agents can be alerted, you know, when certain queue thresholds are breached, enabling them to kind of prioritize and manage their workload a lot more effectively. And, you know, despite the love of self-service that, you know, we all do love in the current day and age, slightly over 95% of customers still say that they want the option to be able to speak to a human agent when necessary. Normally, obviously, when it's a kind of more important issue. Customer sentiment analysis, another one where real-time analytics can analyze customer interactions in that real time, employing kind of natural language processing techniques, just to kind of understand the customer sentiment, their emotions, maybe their satisfaction levels. And this information can be actually used to provide the agent with insights into the customer's current mood, therefore enabling them to adapt their approach and provide that more personalized and empathetic kind of response that a lot of people are kind of going for these days. Then last couple of points on this, guys, predictive analytics. I mean, real-time analytics can incorporate predictive models to anticipate customer behavior, as I said, and even identify potential issues or opportunities. And agents can receive maybe alerts or suggestions based on these kind of predictions, enabling them to, proactively address customer needs or resolve emerging problems before they escalate. Finally, then, a quite interesting one would be maybe performance gamification. And I believe that real-time analytics can be used to kind of create performance leaderboards, maybe scorecards like we do here at Scorebuddy, or even gamification elements as well. And agents can maybe view these real-time performance rankings, the achievements, maybe the goals. And in my opinion, it kind of fosters healthy competition and motivates a lot of kind of teams. And the engagement rate amongst teams overall does tend to kind of go up when these kind of things are brought into place. Overall, by kind of leveraging the likes of real-time analytics, a lot of these agents can gain immediate insights and feedback, which therefore allows them to make data-driven decisions and take appropriate actions to enhance the customer experience. Ultimately, this leads to, once again, improved customer satisfaction, higher agent productivity, and overall higher agent kind of happiness within the organization as well. Thirdly, then, we have using analytics to identify customer needs and preferences in the moment. And, analytics can play a crucial role in identifying the customer needs and preferences in that moment, in the very moment they're in. And a couple of different ways to look at it. Real-time speech analytics. So implementing speech analytics software that can analyze customer conversations in real time. And by using maybe, the likes of natural language processing and maybe machine learning algorithms, it can identify keywords, sentiment, and even specific phrases that indicate maybe a customer's need or preference. And this can help with kind of agents understand the customer's current requirements, and they of course can respond accordingly as well. You have the likes of sentiment analysis. By applying sentiment analysis to customer interactions, you can gauge the emotional state of the customer during the conversation. And this analysis can identify whether customers may be frustrated, satisfied, confused, or whatever it might be. And identifying customer sentiment in real time enables agents to once again tailor their responses and their approach to match the customer's emotional state. So they're on the kind of same level and they can at least come to an understanding with the customer. Finally, then you have the likes of maybe customer journey analysis as well. By analyzing customer interactions throughout their journey, from maybe initial contact all the way to resolution, you can gain a comprehensive understanding of their preferences and pain points, as Robin mentioned as well. This analysis can kind of help identify areas for improvement in the customer experience, and it enables kind of proactive measures to meet the customer's needs at different stages of their journey as well. So by harnessing the kind of power of analytics in a contact center setting, organizations can gain very actionable insights into customers' needs and preferences in real time. This empowers agents to provide personalized and maybe more efficient customer service, ultimately improving customer satisfaction and loyalty. Finally, then, guys, from me, and quite an important one, I would say, from a personal standpoint, is strategies for training agents to leverage these real-time analytics effectively. And many moons ago, when I was much better looking, I did work in a contact center myself, quite enjoyed it, if I'm honest. And I remember back then looking at certain kind of trainings and saying, oh yeah, that's good, but I always felt it could have gone the extra step. So just a couple of points on maybe, how to leverage real-time analytics effectively to kind of look at maybe different strategies at enhancing performance and overall performance of those agents. So the first one I would say would be a comprehensive training program. And I know you've probably heard that before. But I would say when it comes to real-time analytics, implementing a structured training program that educate agents on the importance of real-time analytics and how to interpret the data effectively is very important. Training should maybe cover the types of analytics available, how to access them, how to analyze them, and how to utilize these insights to improve every customer interaction. Kind of to piggyback off that, you would have to look at maybe familiarization with those analytical tools. Where possible, can you help the agent kind of really show them how to use it and how to get the most out of it? A big one for me when I was working in that area was setting of clear objectives. I think sometimes it isn't done properly, in a sense that you would want to define a clear objective for an agent, which has to be aligned with the overall contact center goals and KPIs. I think agents should understand how their performance is measured and how real-time analytics can help them kind of monitor their progress and maybe even identify areas and, you know, areas of improvement and make those data-driven decisions, as I spoke about earlier. Alerts and kind of notifications where possible, you know, implement maybe alerting mechanisms that notify agents when specific events or maybe thresholds are met or not met. For example, as I kind of mentioned earlier, agents can be alerted when call wait times maybe exceed a certain threshold or when customer sentiment drops significantly as well. One of the other ones which I really am a big believer in is continuous feedback and coaching. So establishing a feedback loop where maybe supervisors or team leads can provide these agents with real-time feedback based on the analytics and insights. Regular coaching sessions can help these agents understand their performance, learn from those best practices, and adapt their approach to optimize all of those customer interactions as well. As I said earlier on, gamification, you know, introduce gamification elements to maybe motivate agents and encourage them, maybe just not even to use real-time analytics, but just to encourage them in general. For example, you know, agents can maybe earn points or a badge. Within Scorebuddy, we have what's known as the kudos point system. And I know myself that we have plenty of clients who use it and say, well, the person with the most points at the end of the month gets a free lunch on a Friday or a $50 gift card, whatever it might be. You know, some healthy competition is always good within any kind of team. And finally, then, I think another very good point that I found very helpful in my own professional life is collaboration and knowledge sharing. So fostering kind of a culture of collaboration and knowledge sharing amongst agents, you know, and encouraging them to share their success stories and their nightmare stories and any other best practices related to kind of leveraging real-time analytics as well. It just enables the agents to learn from each other and their own experiences and how they dealt with them, and to overall kind of raise the performance of the team and the contact center as a whole. So by implementing these kind of strategies, guys, I believe contact centers can empower agents to leverage real-time analytics effectively, leading to improved customer service, increased productivity, and obviously better overall performance as well. So that's all I have to do here with this one, guys. But I do have a couple of, I suppose you would say, real life examples, like Robin, just kind of how it kind of works. And I suppose the first kind of one was a client of ours began using a few months ago employee appraisals, a function within Scorebuddy. It's kind of a coaching function. Now, I will say we do have a new one coming out in the next couple of months, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But this customer in particular was using employee appraisals to kind of help agents with understanding the different types of interactions, how to leverage the real-time analytics. And what it kind of resulted in, surprisingly for them at the start, was reduced agent attrition. So more and more agents were being more and more connected with their work and were staying. It was a great success for them as well. And the next one as well, Mariana, sorry. The next one was much more of a kind of basic one, but quite an interesting one as well, I found, where a client of ours recently, they used to do kind of, they get their scores from Scorebuddy and they bring all the scores to a spreadsheet. And for months I was talking to them, you know, we have this great reporting and analytics feature. I think you guys would really kind of enjoy it. So eventually we did a bit of training with them, and, you know, they started seeing the value of it, mainly for their agents. And their agents started kind of understanding a bit more about maybe why they were going wrong with certain calls and interactions. And essentially what happened was, it not only was a time saver for the guys compiling these reports, but they ended up connecting the overall monthly percentages to the employees' bonuses. So an employee could look throughout the month and say, right, where am I at this point of the month? Do I need to kind of step it up, or am I okay? And overall, it led to happier agents as well. But there are just a couple of examples, guys. Once again, apologies for my slight technical issues earlier, but listen, I hope you enjoyed listening to the three of us today, and I hope you gained some good insights as well. Thanks very much.
Thanks. No problem, Rory. This kind of things happen, especially when you're live. And we would have a Q&A now, but I'm very conscious of the time. So I'm going to thank the three of you for participating and for taking your time to share the knowledge with us. And also thank you everyone who joined the webinar and who stick to us. And if you can, please respond a quick survey that we have at the end of the webinar. We really appreciate your feedback. And if you have any questions, you can also send us in the survey. Thanks. Bye. Have a good end of day.